Hey guys, it's Rach today, and we are going to break open the Healthy Hustle podcast by talking about niches. We talked about niches. It was just, I think, an episode or two ago. And we thought, you know what? Why not talk about how this time that we've gone through in the last few years, that time that we won't even say the name, has really opened the door for health coaches. So we wanted to talk about some niches today. And I had Michelle come onto the show again to kind of support me in this amazing episode. Michelle, what do you think about this time that we've gone through in this last few years? Do you think that it's helped coaches to open the door as well, to kind of see them as really needed in somebody's life?
Absolutely. I think with these times that we've faced in the last couple of years, it's been very stressful and it's had such an enormous impact on people's bodies physically as well as mentally, emotionally, mindset wise. So there's just been like a rising and of a need, in the marketplace for people struggling with digestive issues caused by stress or mental health, right? And so there's the mindset issues, the stress issues,
Anxiety.
yeah, how it's thrown off hormones.
Right.
There's
How
just
people
such
have gained weight.
exactly. Yeah. And I think it's just such an amazing opportunity for health coaches to show up in a new, very niched down way to really specialize in one of these areas and help people, on a bigger, more in-depth scale.
When I think in the last few years, I remember when I started coaching. So what was it? 12 years ago, I graduated from IN, was the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And back then, almost nobody understood what gut meant. Now we're in this time, not just because of what we've experienced in the last few years, but I think we're in a time where there are publications, there are major publications and TV and the news that are actually talking about this gut-brain connection. They're actually talking about stress and hormones. They're actually talking about mental health. So I think that we're also in a really ripe time where people are open to having these kind of services because they realize what has been working is not working anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I think trying to serve everyone is always hard. It's really best to really like niche down, narrow in on who you want to serve, and also looking at what are the needs right now in the marketplace and how can you show up, and really serve, because every health coach wants to make a big impact. So really it's about, what type of impact do you want to make? And, looking at those different areas and saying, okay, well, maybe it's weight loss or maybe it's hormones or, maybe it's gut, but right now these are the needs, how can you show up with, a solid signature program?
Well, and I would say what's really exciting, and I've always talked about the depression and anxiety that I dealt with and that I do deal with and how I manage it, is to actually see mental health coaches come around and to see anxiety coaches and stress coaches and to see a lot of these niches that I don't think have been around. Maybe we saw stress in the workplace, like corporate wellness, but I didn't see a lot of stress coaches. And now I'm seeing a plethora of those, as well as what we talked about last year, the amount of emotional eating coaches that I saw, and now body positivity. I think
Yeah.
it's a really exciting time where we still, of course, have weight loss coaches, gut coaches, hormone coaches, as a really solid niche. But I think it's, as you said, it's a really great time to niche down in those areas to get even more specific. So you're really speaking to your ideal client in your marketing, which is going to save you a lot of time and money.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing too, is because when you do niche down, your message is so much more clear. You can really speak to those individual, areas of pain and really offer like a solution that's going to fill that need for them. And the only way to really do that is to know what the pain is. So, if you know your niche, then what are those people dealing with? What are they struggling with on a daily basis? If they're, what are the symptoms of that stress that they're facing? If it's eating emotionally, and emotional eating, if it's not practicing self-care or having the right habits or loving themselves enough, how can you step in as a health coach and really serve them?
Well, and I think that I've also seen a niche kind of emerge, which is this mindset of weight loss. So I see a lot of coaches who are weight loss coaches, but it's more on the mindset and the habits. And that's been something I've seen birth in the last year, habit coaches.
Yeah.
It's interesting because this is a lot of what I saw in corporate wellness. And I don't do corporate wellness, but niches that coaches that would specialize in a certain niche, but now we're seeing this across the board. Are there any other niches that you're seeing coming up that can come to mind?
I think the one that like what you just said, it's not even just the niche too, but it's that like step-by-step approach as well. So like with those habits, like actually integrating more of that step-by-step, like habit or, ritual approach to any of those niches, because in the recent times, right, that we've been all dealing with in the last couple of years, people need those bite-sized steps to have like a low pressure transformation where they can do something, small yet impactful every single day and get the results that they want, no matter what niche you choose. So kind of doing that combination of how to bring in baby steps, and a step-by-step approach to any niche.
Well, and that's interesting because that even brings me to thoughts about how we are absorbing information now. And when you're setting up your signature program, to really think about that bite-sized information, because people really don't have a lot of time. I mean, it's not to say people are not in Facebook groups. They are, of course, in Facebook groups and engaging if that Facebook group is bringing value. They are, of course, on social media. But I feel like people really have seen how busy life is and have gotten busier. And so when you're thinking about delivering your materials, think of that bite-sized information. Even if you have to go week by week and do a video or 2 videos or 3 videos to really support that person through the week, give them little wins, allow for them to really go through that transformation without it feeling so overwhelming that they quit.
Yeah.
So with the niches that we're kind of seeing and niching down, what is your biggest advice for somebody that's scared to niche down?
Obviously, it would be to do it anyway. I mean, test it. There's nothing wrong with testing. So, test a niche down and put one offer out there and take one step forward. And you don't have to, redo your whole website or redo your branding or
Niche, right.
like just test it with a program and test it with an offer and see how it changes your business and your messaging for your ideal audience.
Well, do you know what's interesting is I talked to a coach yesterday. We'll just call her Samantha. So I talked to Samantha, and she has always worked with everyone. She's always said, I can serve everyone. And she decided in the last month, as she had one of those moments where you just say, what am I going to do with my life? What do I really want to do? And she said, I want to work with women's health. I want to work with hormones. So she started in the last 2 weeks putting out social media infographics about hormones. And she got all this feedback. Women were like, oh my God, I love the post that you're putting out. It just is really speaking to me. It's speaking my language. I've been struggling with this. And so she ended up buying a hormone program yesterday and said, I'm so excited. I feel like I was so scared to niche down. I was so scared to get specific. I was so scared to serve a woman in a specific time of her life. But now I'm so excited because it feels like I know where I need to take this woman. And so I think of her and I think of how many times I know I was scared. I was like, well, I'm going to work with gut. And then it's like, that didn't really work. I had to get even specific to food allergies and intolerances. And as soon as I started talking about food allergies, it was like I had clients left and right because that's such a pain point. I realized a lot of people didn't understand gut. And I think that still, even with this time where we have gut plastered on New York Times and we have all these different publications and, talks about gut health and food and mood. And that's another niche that I'm seeing, really people talking about moods and food. It's still difficult to have somebody identify with what are their gut issues when our clients say things like, I just eat and I feel nauseous. I don't feel good. and helping that person to really navigate what's going on can be a little difficult. But once I added that food allergies and intolerances, it was like I got more specific in my talk. I was able to talk about detoxing from those foods, detoxing from a mindset that keeps you in a high cortisol, and really just streamlined my message.
Yeah. And that is so important, because that's how people get seen as experts too. And that's how you really build authority in your niche. When you try to talk about everything, it's just, sometimes it's just like, it's out there, and there's just so much information, it's information overwhelm. But when you're really specific, like that coach who's like now sharing those specific infographics, the pain is specific.
Yeah.
So the messaging is specific, and the solution is like a no-brainer, it's like right there, like, this is what I specialize in. So I think that, the more that health coaches can take that step forward and do a trust fall and try to, test, niching down, they're going to experience such a big difference for themselves and for their clients.
So what would you say, in your opinion, are the niches that you're going to see come out of this amazing time? Because I really do think people are just at a point where they realize that stress can really influence them in such a huge way, that mindset hacks, productivity, a rest. I think that's like a big thing that we're hearing. It's like, take time to rest, take time to put yourself first. We see a lot of self-care coaches, self-love coaches. What do you think is going to come out of this time?
Definitely stress related niches. So I would say, stress is number one. Mindset, and then all of the niches that are like symptomatic from those levels of stress. So you have hormones, you have, weight loss. There's the food and mood, the emotional eating aspect of it, the gut, you have the gut and the brain connection. So I would say those are the top ones. And then also looking at it through the lens of the approach being that bite-sized, anything habits is a great lead in to any of those niches. If it's like a daily habits freebie or, a habit challenge or something where they can come in, and build those habits, and then you can lead them to any niche that you serve in.
Lead them to that transformation. Mm-hmm. So guys, we're giving you today a bite-sized chunk. We're making this podcast short and sweet so that you could go for a run and listen. You could listen to this while you're brushing your teeth. And so we want to hear feedback. If you have any comments, please leave them below. And we hope that you have a great day. Remember, niche down, it can be scary, but you're going to find that you're going to attract your ideal client. Make sure that your niche is profitable. Do your market research. See if there's a demand for that niche, but always don't be scared to set yourself apart and pave the road for that niche to be really profitable. So make sure you do your market research. And with that being said, we will see you later. Bye, guys.